There are key components and key ingredients in the recipe of a student mentality. Number one, you need to be disciplined. The future is very expensive, and only those who are carriers of discipline can inherit the future. I need you to stay motivated. I don't care if you have to listen to me 1,000 times. I need you to stay motivated. And I need
Okay, number two, please sit down and watch Mr. Good is just choosing with what complex numbers. Number two, Mr. Good, when you're just adding what the complex number, subtracting what the complex number, the question's gonna come out on the exam. Simplify without use of what calculator. Then we have what the square root of -4 plus a square root of 16 minus the square root of -81. Remember, I normally say that the complex numbers, how can you see that these are complex numbers? If a number under the square root sign is what? It is negative. Therefore, we call that number is the imaginary number, because the imaginary number is a complex numbers. It's the same thing. How umntwana Nkosi yami, let's go, Mr. Good. Then we have what? We have root -4 plus root what? Negative what? -16 minus root -81. How are we going to solve this one? We're going to use what? The law of radical sign. How are we going to solve this one? We're going to use what? The law of what? Radical sign. Mr. Good, tell us the rules. Mathematics is about what? Rules. You need to follow rules so that you're just gonna able to solve what? The problem. Any problem need what? Rules. Any problem need what? Rules. Therefore, mathematics is about what? Following what? Rules. Mr. Good, please. The law of what? Radical sign says that if under the square root sign we have what? Two different numbers. How, Mr. Good? If under the square root sign we have what? Two different numbers, you are allowed to say that square root of A times square root of B. That is the law of what? Of radical sign. As well what? If under the square root sign we have what? 4 times what? Times 2. 4 times 2. We always say this one is gonna be same as what? Square root of 4 times square root of 2. Therefore, square root of 4 is gonna be equal to 2 times what? Square root of 2. Therefore, the answer is gonna be what? 2 root what? 2. Therefore, we call this is a what? The law of what? Radical sign. Here we're going to use what? This law. It's very, very simple and straightforward, Mr. Good. Then how we're going to use, Mr. Good? You need to check this one. How? We're going to change this one. How? -4 times what? Times -4 times 4. -4 times 4 is going to give us what? -1 times 4 is going to give us what? -4. Then plus. Then we have open bracket -1 times what? Times 16 is going to give what? -16. Minus square root of what? -1 minus what? -1 times 81 is going to give what? -81. Then after that, we're going to say that the law of what? Radical sign says that square root of -1 times the square root of 4 plus square root of -1 times the square root of what? 16. Then we have minus. Then we have a square root of -1 times the square root of what? Of 81. Because this is the same thing. What is the law of complex numbers, imaginary numbers? What I said about I on the previous video, I said that I is always equals to root negative 1. Therefore, whenever I see root negative 1, I'm going to put what I is very, very simple, Mr. Good. Then after this, I'm just going to have what? I have I times this I and now what root negative 1 times what? What is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is what? Is 2. Then plus. Then we have what? I times. The square root of 16 is what? It is 4. Then we have minus. The square root of negative 1 is equal to what? I times. The square root of 81 is equal to what? 9. Do you see that, Mr. Good? It's very simple. Instead of writing root negative 1, I'm going to put what? I. Instead of writing negative 1, I'm going to put what? I, because I is the imaginary number. I is the imaginary number. Then after that, I ask myself, what is the square root of 4? Is 2. What is the square root of 16? Is 4. What is the square root of 81? Is 9. After that, I remove what in the bracket here. Then I'm just going to have what? 2 times I is equal to what? 2I plus I times 4 so power I 4 times I minus 9 I times 9 is equal to 9I. After that, you collect what the like terms, because this I is same as what any variable. Any variable. I is just what? Any variable. For example, if we have what? 2x plus 3x. Therefore, this one is going to be equal to what? 5x. You see that these are the like terms. If we have 3x squared plus 4x what is squared, these are the like terms, gonna give us what? 7x what is squared. You see that? Therefore, I is just act as a what? Any variable. It just acts as a value of x into now. It's very, very important to take note. Then how are we going to solve this one? How? 2i plus 4i is going to give us what? 6i minus what? 9i. How? Make 6i minus 9i is gonna give us what? Negative 3i. Therefore, that is the answer of what? Root negative 4 plus root negative 16 minus root negative 81. Therefore, we're going to get what? Your marks now. We're going to eat. This is very simple and straightforward. Mr. Good. Good, Mdona. Mr. Good. Good, Mdona. This is a what? This is the imaginary what? Numbers. Mr. Good.